Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Libra new moon. I am very excited for this new moon because I feel like there's a lot of change coming for a lot of us, and it's going to be feeling like a new start for all of us. The Libra new moon is in conjunction with the sun. Anytime we have a new moon, we have a direct conjunction with the sun being in Libra as well. We just moved away from Virgo season. So after all this cleansing and nitpicking and getting all of this mutable energy out of the way, we're now in cardinal season. And what that means is that we're more likely to take control of our lives. We're more likely to lead our lives into somewhere or initiate change. And so the last couple of months, because we have been so involved with so much mutable energy is about going with the flow. It's about releasing control. It's about, harnessing the powers of the universe and destiny and allowing that to, just be as is, and to allow yourself to just be as is. A lot of the months that we've been dealing with this karma and these things that have been coming up, we've just been asked by spirit to just kind of flow with emotions. Especially with the Pisces full moon, we've kind of just been asked to witness and observe and actualize our life by just flowing with the tides and being fluid with our emotions. Now that we're moving away from this mutable energy, Spirit is asking us to take more of a leader position and actually take control of your life, actually initiate change. And so with Libra energy being the main focus of this supermoon, because it is closer to the Earth orbiting, it's asking us to look deeper into our relationships. And whether we believe that or not, we are going to be looking deeper into our relationships, because Libra energy is all about love. It is about partnership. It is about balance, equality. And so all these questions are really coming into play right now in our psyche, and it really wants us to look deeper into, is our relationships really serving us? How are we bringing equality and balance into our life? How are we bringing a sense of peace into our life? And a lot of times we want to look outside of ourselves. We want to question our relationships. Is this relationship really serving me? Is this relationship, idealistic? And so these are all questions that will be asked within ourselves and within our psyche, because I think we're really tired of being bored, or we're tired of having a kind of just a so-so connection or relationship, maybe in a romantic relationship, maybe in a friendship, business ship. We're just really observing our connections that we have in our lives and asking if they are, if they're valid enough, or if they're idealistic enough. So in a way, in a sense, this is good, because I feel like we should step back and sometimes question the people that we have in our lives. But also it can be also just nitpicky, to the sense where you become ungrateful. So it's important to stay grateful for the people you do have in your life and kind of just see all sides of things. That's what Libra energy is about, is kind of just weighing your options, seeing what you have in front of you, but also noticing and recognizing other people, and noticing and recognizing the other side of the situation before you just boot people out of your life like they're not good for you or something. But I say this because we have a lot of squares going on right now. We have Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus all in Libra. So that's a bunch of cardinal energy. And then we have Saturn and Pluto, which is still in Capricorn. That's more cardinal energy, but that is bringing squares to this Libra energy. So that's what I mean by we're actually questioning deeper whether these relationships serve us on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a physical level. And we're kind of being really idealistic with it. Like, all of this work I've done, and this is the actual relationship that I want. Like, this is what I desire. And I think that having the moon square Saturn and Mercury square Saturn, we're going to be thinking really deeply about our romantic relationships or friendships or anything with the ship. And even a relationship with ourselves. And thinking really deeply can also bring upon a lot of hidden emotions to the surface. It can bring that are about relationships. Maybe you have a lot of jealousy that might be coming to the surface, a lot of control instincts that are coming to the surface, and you're learning how to deal with them. This is, like I said, can be an idealistic time. So you want this perfect relationship, right? You see and you imagine this fairy tale relationship, and it's creating some type of conflict, especially with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. It's creating a little bit of conflict because you're either bored with what you have or you just want something better. And maybe you're also tired of just the triggers and the toxicness. So you want change. You need something to change. And this with Saturn will definitely bring upon a time where relationships are tested. And they are tested if they're at a point where there's not much connection or there's a little wishy-washy, or it will strengthen your relationship if you believe that, what you really have is your desire. And whether this is, a relationship that is serving you or a relationship that is not serving you, I believe that it all starts with your relationship with yourself. So whether we're questioning if this relationship is good enough for us, or, we have a lot of trauma that might be surfacing, we need to understand that the time and the energy that we give to ourselves, and this is about balancing our lives. This is about balancing the identity with the, relationship and energy exchange of another person. And we need to recognize that whether or not we are actually giving space for ourselves, and we're giving time and healing to ourselves, and self-love and self-care, and how that might be reflecting whether or not we do those things into our relationship, into our business ships, and kind of see, before we just boot people out of our lives like they don't serve us, bye. Kind of see if, maybe the connection or the relationship can prosper if we give more time to ourselves, and kind of see different perspectives of a situation, and maybe how we play an important part and key into this relationship. Because an important aspect of Libra season is recognizing that relationships are a two-way street, and that it should be 50-50 to the best of its ability, and that we should be open to seeing other people. But first, we have to see ourselves before we are able to actually recognize and see another person for who they are and for their soul. Whew. So, with that being said, I think since we do have Chiron and Aries, and it's in opposition with all of this Libra energy, it's really asking us, what are some wounds that we have? What are some triggers or traumas that we have in our past relationships, or maybe growing up, that could be either anchoring or disabling our connection with ourself, with our higher self, and also our relationships, because that plays a part into it. So when we have Chiron and Aries, it's really an energy where, and we've had it all year, but right now, because it is an opposition, it's allowing us to see a reflection between other people and ourselves, and how we can internally heal that part of ourselves, because we see it in others, but really it's who we are. So if you are ever in a position where you are feeling like you just need to call somebody out, or you're judging them, this is just a direct reflection of the wound that you have within you. And this is going to be coming up for a lot of us, and it's the wound associated with our identity. And our identity is going to be triggered. It's going to be judged. The way that we express ourselves is going to be judged, or could be judged for some people. And it really wants us to ask ourselves, who are you? You know, who are you? And are you really showing up as a balance? Are you too much light? Are you too much darkness? And how are you really offering that to the world with your truth and standing up to your truth? I actually had an experience last week where my identity was tested. And I think that a lot of it came up to me as an attack and then as a trigger, but I was able to kind of move through the emotions and all of the anxiety that it gave me, and just recognize that this, if I come from a place of growth and I come from a place of knowing that this situation is going to bring me deeper into my higher self and into my truth, then it became a lot easier for me to navigate what had occurred, and the attack feeling that I felt so deeply of judgment, you know, of my truth and of my work and of my passion. A lot of times people will attack your shadow because they don't understand it, or because it brings up a sense of their shadow that they are ignoring, or that they don't see. And whether we have the same shadows or not, the darkness in others brings up fear within other people, and people who have not been doing the healing and who have not been stable in their identity will shoot judgments at you, or criticize you, or, you know, just shadow box you, because that's all they can do. That's what makes them feel better about the work that they have not been doing. So that's just an important reminder that if you're ever in a situation like that where you feel like your identity or your truth is being attacked or judged, to just kind of step back, see the other person from a space of love, and to also use the situation as an opportunity for you to find a deeper wisdom within it. Because I think that we can all fall into a space of victimhood, and we can all fall into a space of jealousy, envy, any of those negative qualities, and self-pity, when in actuality those are just kind of barriers and blockages to our purpose and our higher self. So if any of this resonates with you and you're wanting to see a little bit deeper how the Libra new moon is going to be affecting you, because it does matter where Libra is in your house, to where it's actually going to individually play a part into your life, I can give you a birth chart reading. Right now I have a deal where, you know, normally they're $50, but I'm doing them for $33. So I can either video chat you, or I can give you a emailed or paged report, to where I give you the information as well, and kind of like work with you on what you're doing, what you're going through, and how the planets are a part of that and making sense of that. So I hope that this super moon brings a lot of change for you all. I know it has definitely already been bringing a lot of change for me. And so just remember to plant those seeds of intention, because a new moon is a very powerful time to do so. And to always just see the other balanced side of a situation. Peace and blessings to everyone.